India. India has 1.4 billion people, the world's fourth largest economy, a booming tech industry. But zero world-class large language models that truly understand us. Today, we're going to break down exactly why India needs its own LLM and what it will take to build one. Let's start with the most obvious problem, language. India has 22 officially recognized languages, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. According to the census, there are 121 languages spoken by more than 10,000 people each. Hindi alone has over 50 dialects: Bhojpuri, Maithili, Marwari, Chhattisgarhi, Rajasthani. And then there's Hinglish, the way over 500 million Indians actually communicate every day. Hi, meeting postpone kar de, client ka mood off hai. This is how India talks. But GPT-4, Claude, Gemini? They struggle to understand this code switching between languages. Here's a shocking fact. Less than 1% of internet content is in Indian languages. Only about 10% of Indians are fluent in English. That means 90% of India is essentially locked out of the AI revolution. But language is just the beginning. The bigger problem is cultural context. Foreign AI models are trained primarily on Western data. American movies, British literature, European history. Ask ChatGPT about chai pe charcha, and it might translate it literally to discussion on tea, missing the entire cultural significance. Ask about Jethalal or Tarak Mehta, and you'll get a blank stare. These are references that hundreds of millions of Indians understand instantly. Indian festivals have deep context. Diwali isn't just festival of lights. It's new clothes, rangoli, family gatherings, the smell of diyas. Our social dynamics are unique too. Joint families, arranged marriages, log kiya kahenge. These concepts don't exist in Silicon Valley's training data. And humor, Gujarati jokes, Punjabi humor, South Indian wit, AI trained on Western comedy simply doesn't get it. History is another gap. The independence movement, partition, the emergency. And AI needs to understand these from an Indian perspective. Now let's talk about something most people don't think about: data sovereignty. Every time you use ChatGPT or Claude, your query travels across the ocean to servers in the United States. Your questions, your data, your context, all stored on foreign servers governed by foreign laws. In 2023, India passed the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. But what good is it if our data sits in California? Think about sensitive information, Aadhaar details, banking queries, medical records, legal advice. Should government communications flow through American servers? Should our defense research rely on OpenAI? Remember TikTok? India banned it over data security concerns. But we're perfectly fine sending our AI queries abroad? 800 million Indian internet users. Their data is estimated to be worth over $50 billion. And it's all flowing out of the country. Let's follow the money. The economic case for India's own LLM is massive. GPT-4 API costs roughly $10 per million tokens. Sounds cheap? Let's do the math. An Indian edtech startup using AI tutoring might make 100,000 API calls per day. That's $50,000 a month, about 42 lakh rupees. And here's the killer. You're paying in dollars. When the rupee depreciates, your AI costs go up automatically. All these profits flow straight to Silicon Valley. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, none of them are Indian companies. If India builds its own LLM infrastructure, that money stays here, creating jobs, funding research, building our AI ecosystem. Building a world-class LLM could create tens of thousands of high-paying jobs. Researchers, engineers, data scientists, all in India. Beyond economics, there's strategic importance. AI is becoming critical infrastructure. Defense and security. Can our military rely on American AI for strategy and analysis? Obviously not. Healthcare is a huge opportunity. Imagine AI diagnosis in Telugu, Marathi, or Kannada, reaching villages where doctors can't. Agriculture. 60% of India depends on farming. AI advisory in local languages could revolutionize crop yields. The legal system. Court documents, judgments, legal advice, all need to work in Hindi and regional languages. Education. Millions of students in vernacular medium schools need AI tutors that speak their language. Banking. Over 500 million Jan Dhan accounts. These users need AI assistance in Hindi and regional languages, not English chatbots. Now, India isn't sitting idle. There are serious efforts underway. Let's look at what's happening. The government's Bhashini platform, the National Language Translation Mission. It's building the backbone for Indian language AI. Krutrim by Ola's Bhavish Agarwal, a 7,000 crore rupee bet on building India's first full-stack AI company. Sarvam AI from Bangalore. They're focused specifically on Indian language models with impressive early results. AI4 Bharat, an IIT Madras initiative, they're building open-source Indian NLP tools that anyone can use and improve. Co-Rover's Parrot GPT, already deployed in government services, handling millions of queries in Indian languages. Jugalbandi, a brilliant project that brings AI to rural India through WhatsApp, meeting people where they already are. But here's the reality check. All these efforts combined are still far behind GPT-4 in capability. We have a long way to go. So what does India actually need to build a world-class LLM? Let's break it down into 4 pillars. Pillar 1. Compute infrastructure. Training a frontier LLM requires massive computing power. We're talking about 100,000 plus high-end GPUs, NVIDIA H100s, each costing about 25 lakh rupees. The hardware alone could cost over 25,000 crore rupees. And there's a global shortage. Even if you have money, you might not get the chips. Solution? A government-backed national AI compute mission. Pool resources, buy at scale, share access. Pillar 2. Training data. LLMs need trillions of tokens to learn. For Indian languages, this data barely exists. We need news archives, books, government documents, movie scripts, social media, all in Indian languages. The challenge? Most of this exists in PDFs, scanned images, or physical books. We need a massive digitization effort. Pillar 3. Talent. India's IITs produce brilliant minds, but most of them end up in the US. We need at least 10,000 world-class ML researchers staying and working in India. That requires competitive salaries and research funding. Pillar 4. Funding. OpenAI has raised over $10 billion. India's entire AI startup funding? Less than $2 billion. We need serious capital. Government investment, private equity, and corporate R&D all working together. So here's a practical roadmap. What India could achieve in the next 5 years. Year 1. Launch a national AI compute mission with 50,000 GPUs. Make compute accessible to researchers and startups. Year 2. Build an open Indian language corpus with 1 trillion tokens. News, books, government docs, all digitized and accessible. Year 3. Release India's first competitive Hindi-English bilingual LLM. Not just translation, but true understanding. By year 5, a full multilingual India AI covering 10 plus languages. Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, Marathi, all first-class citizens. This requires everyone to play their part. Government for infrastructure, startups for innovation, academia for research, and big tech for deployment. India missed the semiconductor revolution. We're still dependent on foreign chips. We cannot afford to miss the AI revolution. If you believe India needs its own LLM, share this video. Start the conversation. Subscribe for more deep dives on AI and technology. We're building a community that cares about India's tech future. And in part 2, we'll actually build a simple Hindi language model from scratch. See you there?